Welcome. Today, we uncover the complete story of Costco, a journey from a simple warehouse to a 240 billion global empire. This remarkable ascent was built not on marketing tricks, but on unwavering honesty and deep trust. This narrative will not only inspire you, but also illuminate principles of business, leadership, and loyalty, revealing why millions worldwide cherish Costco. Before we begin, consider subscribing for more stories that expand your mind and enhance your understanding of the world. Let's start. Chapter 1, The Birth of an Idea, 1950s to 1983. The Costco story doesn't begin with Costco itself. It starts much earlier in 1954 with a visionary lawyer from San Diego named Saul Price. Saul, despite not coming from a wealthy background, possessed a profound sense of justice and fairness. He firmly believed that business should be about providing genuine value and honesty, not about deceiving people. In 1954, Saul established FedMart, one of the pioneering stores in the U.S. to adopt the membership model. Customers needed to belong to specific groups, such as government employees, to gain access. Yet, FedMart was more than just a discount store. It was a revolutionary concept. It eschewed fancy advertising and unnecessary decorations, focusing solely on selling bulk products at exceptionally low prices within a no-frills warehouse environment. Though it appeared unconventional, the model proved incredibly successful, and FedMart expanded rapidly, captivating its customers. Years later, after losing control of FedMart, Saul departed to embark on an even bolder venture. In 1976, Saul Price, now in his late 50s, launched a new store called Price Club in San Diego, California. This marked the true genesis of the business model that would eventually define Costco. Price Club was unlike any retail establishment of its time. Housed in a converted airplane hangar, it sold products in large, bulk quantities, and customers were required to purchase a membership to shop there. There were no advertisements, no elaborate decorations, no background music, just concrete floors, industrial metal shelves, and oversized packages of essential goods. What truly astonished the industry was Price Club's pricing strategy. Items were sold so close to their actual cost that the store made minimal profit on products. Its revenue primarily stemmed from membership fees, not from inflated prices. Initially, Price Club catered exclusively to business owners, small restaurants, offices, and local shops sought to buy supplies in bulk. However, an unforeseen phenomenon occurred every day. Families began requesting memberships, drawn by the promise of lower prices, significant savings, and a no-nonsense shopping experience. Saul Price agreed, and the business exploded in popularity. Meanwhile, in another part of the retail world, a young man named Jim Sinegal was forging his career. Jim had started at FedMart, the very company Saul Price founded. Humble, hardworking, and deeply inspired by Saul Price's values, Jim believed in treating customers fairly, maintaining low prices, keeping operations simple, and respecting employees. For years, Jim worked under Saul Price, meticulously learning the intricacies of ethical warehouse retail. He later gained further experience at Price Club. In the early 1980s, Jim Sinegal met Jeff Brotman, a wealthy businessman from Seattle. Jeff brought the vision. Jim brought the experience. And together, they were poised to create something monumental. In September 1983, in Seattle, Washington, Jim Sinegal and Jeff Brotman opened the inaugural Costco warehouse. It was founded on the same fundamental principles as Price Club, but incorporated a few key enhancements. They welcomed both businesses and individual customers, offered an even more curated selection of products than other stores, prioritizing the best quality at the lowest prices. The iconic Kirkland signature brand, which would become a cornerstone of Costco's identity, was introduced later. Every aspect of the operation was designed for efficiency, cleanliness, and speed. Costco was not conceived by marketing gurus. It was built by a team driven by fairness, logic, and a commitment to long-term loyalty. In 1983, Costco offered a 25 annual membership, concrete floors, industrial shelving, and a range of large format items like toilet paper, cereal, televisions, diapers, and frozen food. Staff were paid better than average wages. There were zero advertisements. Products came in bulk packages. And free samples were a staple of this new kind of shopping experience. Customers were initially curious. Some didn't immediately grasp the concept. But those who entered and witnessed the savings never looked back. Within months, the first Costco was a resounding success. By the end of 1984, there were 9 warehouses, and by 1985, over 15. The company began a strategic and careful expansion across the west coast of the United States, including Oregon, California, and Arizona. Compared to today's rapid startups, Costco's growth was deliberate. Jim Sinegal emphasized perfecting every detail before opening new stores, famously stating, "We're not trying to be the biggest, we're trying to be the most trusted." This ethos became the very DNA of Costco. Concurrently, Price Club continued to thrive. However, in the early 1990s, it encountered management and financial challenges. Instead of becoming rivals, Costco and Price Club made a bold decision. They merged. In 1993, the two companies united under the name Price Costco. It was a perfect synergy, sharing identical values, vision, and operational structure. Saul Price's foundational model and Jim Sinegal's leadership converged. At the time of the merger, Price Club had approximately 94 locations in the US and Canada, while Costco had around 77, primarily in the Western US. Together, they commanded over 170 warehouses, thousands of employees, and millions of members. However, merging two substantial companies is never simple. Differences in management styles, supplier contracts, systems, and visions emerged. Behind the scenes, quiet disagreements arose between Saul Price's family, who founded Price Club, and Jim Sinegal's team at Costco. While mutual respect remained, their ideas diverged on growth pace, operational management, and leadership. Eventually, the two sides amicably separated. The Price family went on to establish PriceSmart, an independent international business, and Costco became the final unified brand name. From that point forward, Jim Sinegal's leadership was unequivocally clear. After 2 years of operating under the hybrid Price Costco brand, the company officially rebranded in 1995 as Costco Wholesale Corporation. This was more than a mere name change. It was a declaration to the world that the company was serious about wholesale, committed to growing under a singular identity, and guided by Jim Sinegal's vision. Costco initiated a comprehensive streamlining of operations, creating a single buying team, consolidating warehouses, and training managers under a unified system. This strategic consolidation laid the groundwork for Costco's subsequent phase, nationwide expansion. By the mid-1990s, retail behemoths like Walmart, Kmart, and Target were ubiquitous, boasting thousands of stores, relentless advertising, and an expansive range of products. Costco, though smaller, was distinct. Jim Sinegal understood that they didn't need to be everywhere. They simply needed to be trusted wherever they were. Consequently, Costco opened new locations deliberately, targeting only high-performing cities, leveraging data to understand member preferences, and constructing large warehouses in areas where both families and businesses could shop together. Because each new store was meticulously planned, almost every location achieved profitability within a year, a rare feat in the retail industry. If you had walked into a Costco warehouse in 1996, you would have seen towering shelves laden with massive boxes. You would find 1 or 2 optimal options per product, not 20 brands, always prioritizing the best value. Quantities were in bulk: 3 gallons of milk, 40 rolls of toilet paper, 2-pound peanut butter jars. Sample stations offered bites of food to try before buying. Checkout counters moved swiftly, staffed by smiling employees. But the most striking absence was advertising. There were no sales signs, no music, no banners. It was quiet, simple, and honest, and customers adored it. Costco's growth between 1993 and 2000 was impressive. It had 170 locations by 1995, over 200. In 1997, it expanded into the United Kingdom and Korea. By 1999, there were over 300 warehouses worldwide, and by 2000, annual revenue exceeded $30 billion, with over 25 million paid members. The secret to this success lay in its loyalty. Most members renewed their memberships annually. Costco achieved the highest loyalty rates in retail, all without a single advertisement. This unwavering loyalty became Costco's invisible engine. At the helm was Jim Sinegal, CEO and co-founder, yet he was unlike other CEOs. While others resided in glass towers, Jim walked warehouse floors, engaged directly with staff, personally checked price tags, dressed in ordinary clothes, shared meals with workers, and steadfastly refused an exorbitant salary. While most CEOs garnered millions in bonuses, Jim maintained his salary around $350,000 per year, explaining, "If I make too much, our workers and customers lose. That's not acceptable." This philosophy of fairness permeated every level of the company, from top to bottom. Between 1993 and 2000, Costco made audacious international moves. It expanded into Canada, which became one of its earliest and most successful markets outside the US. In Mexico, it partnered with a local company for new warehouses. Despite the competitive nature of the United Kingdom market, Costco's unique model distinguished itself. South Korea emerged as one of Costco's most loyal customer bases, a trend that continues today. Taiwan also established a small but impactful presence. Costco's expansion was never rushed. For each new country, they diligently studied local culture, adjusted packaging sizes when necessary, trained local employees, and consistently upheld the same core values and business model. This disciplined approach ensured Costco never lost its identity, regardless of its global reach. The 1990s were not without challenges. Costco had to contend with Walmart's Sam's Club, navigate complex global logistics, withstand criticism from Wall Street for its measured profit growth, educate new customers about the membership model, and manage supplier relationships for bulk pricing. However, Costco's consistency proved its lifeline. Prices remained low, product quality remained high, employees remained loyal, and members continued to return. While other companies underwent rapid transformations, Costco remained true to its foundational principles. By the year 2000, Costco had transcended being merely a store. It had evolved into a trusted brand, a community of discerning shoppers, a company with a clear soul, and a burgeoning global footprint. Yet, the most exciting part was that Costco had only begun to demonstrate its true potential. Chapter 20, Surviving the Storms, Costco in the 2000s and the Great Recession, 2000 to 2010. As the world transitioned into the 21st century, change accelerated. The internet proliferated, shopping malls dotted the landscape, new online businesses like Amazon began their ascent, major retail giants fiercely competed for market dominance, and Wall Street scrutinized every company, demanding ever higher quarterly profits. For most businesses, this dictated a clear strategy: grow fast, maximize earnings, slash costs, and embrace digital transformation. But Costco remained composed. It did not rush, did not panic, and did not chase fleeting trends. Instead, it steadfastly adhered to the same four pillars it had always believed in: low prices, bulk quality, member loyalty, and honest business practices. During this decade, Costco would confront its most formidable challenge: navigating the Great Recession, the most severe global economic downturn since 1929. Let's examine the pivotal events and decisions of this era. In the early 2000s, Costco wasn't focused on dominating headlines. It continued to excel at what it did best: opening warehouses one by one, meticulously observing customer habits, cultivating long-term relationships with suppliers, enhancing the member experience, and largely ignoring the external claimer. Yet, the retail landscape was undeniably shifting. Companies like Walmart were expanding aggressively. Amazon was emerging as a serious online threat. Target was attracting middle-class shoppers with appealing branding, and Sam's Club, Walmart's own warehouse model, actively sought to outperform Costco at its own game. Still, Costco possessed an intangible asset that its competitors lacked: genuine trust. While Costco isn't renowned for flashy innovation, the 2000s saw it implement shrewd, understated upgrades that facilitated growth without compromising its identity. The Kirkland signature brand became a central focus during this decade. Initiated in 1995, its expansion now encompassed wines, organic products, clothing, health supplements, bay leaf popcorn, and even luxury items like Kirkland's signature French vodka, often compared to Grey Goose. Consumers increasingly recognized that Kirkland represented premium quality without the premium price tag. Kirkland transcended being merely a store brand. It became a symbol of intelligent shopping. Costco also began integrating pharmacies, gas stations, and optical centers. This decade saw the addition of pharmacies offering low-cost generic medications, optical services for affordable eyewear, and gas stations near warehouses providing cheaper fuel for members. These supplementary services significantly enhanced the value proposition of the membership, encouraging repeat visits for more than just groceries. The Costco food court became legendary, particularly for its $1.50 hot dog and soda combo, a price that has remained unchanged since 1985. Large, affordable pizza slices, chicken bakes, churros, and soft-serve ice cream became cherished traditions. The ritual was establish, shop in bulk, enjoy an inexpensive meal, and leave content. Throughout this period, Jim Sinegal remained the CEO, and his leadership was as humble as ever. He routinely visited random warehouses for inspection, manually verified prices, personally reviewed store cleanliness, and engaged directly with employees and customers. He continued to draw a salary of approximately $350,000 per year, consistently rejecting bonuses and stock manipulation, never aspiring to become a billionaire. In stark contrast, other retail CEOs earned tens of millions. But Jim consistently articulated, if I take more, someone else, a customer or employee, gets less. His actions fostered loyalty not only among staff, but also among customers. During this decade, Costco deepened its international footprint. Japan, where the first store opened in 1999, saw significant growth in the 2000s. South Korea, Taiwan, the UK, and Mexico, with over a dozen locations by 2010, also became key markets. Each new country presented its own set of challenges, including diverse product expectations, cultural shopping habits, packaging sizes, and language barriers. Yet Costco succeeded where many American companies faltered. It respected each local market. It refrained from imposing U.S. customs, learned from local preferences, and maintained its honest pricing model. Then came the pivotal moment. In 2008, the global economy imploded. Major banks failed, millions lost their jobs, housing markets crashed, consumer spending plummeted, and businesses shuttered. For most companies, this was an unmitigated disaster. For Costco, it was a moment of profound truth. Here's why, during the Great Recession, people desperately needed lower prices, essential products in bulk, and a company they could trust. Costco delivered on all three. While luxury brands withered, Costco's warehouses remained bustling with shoppers. Families flocked there to buy affordable food for the month, access cheaper medications at the pharmacy, leverage their membership for gas savings, and secure better deals than traditional grocery stores. And remarkably, Costco's membership renewals remained high, sales stayed surprisingly strong, employees were not laid off, and the iconic hot dog combo still cost $1.50. A defining moment that exemplified Costco's soul occurred in 2009. An executive suggested to Jim Sinegal, should we increase the price of the hot dog combo to $1.75 or $2? Jim's legendary reply was, if you raise the price of the hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out. And they did. Instead of raising the price, Costco established its own hot dog production facilities, implemented cost-cutting measures through smarter supply chain management, and protected the price to safeguard customer trust. This was not merely about a food item, it was about a fundamental principle. The numbers speak volumes. While most retailers experienced a drop in revenue, Costco still earned or $71 billion in 2009, an increase from $64 billion in 2007. Membership renewals consistently remained above 85%, employee turnover stayed low, and stock prices recovered faster than most retail companies. This unequivocally demonstrated that Costco was not just surviving, it was thriving through trust. Throughout this decade, Wall Street repeatedly questioned, why aren't your profits higher? Why not raise prices like Walmart? Why pay employees so much? Costco's consistent reply was, because it's the right thing to do. They prioritized long-term customer relationships, employee loyalty, ethical margins, and word-of-mouth marketing. While other companies chased quarterly earnings, Costco was diligently cultivating lifetime loyalty. Between 2000 and 2010, Costco navigated immense economic shifts, endured the Great Recession, expanded globally, solidified its core identity, and proved that honest business practices are sustainable. While the world fixated on speed and greed, Costco exemplified the enduring power of patience, discipline, simplicity, and service. Chapter 3, A New Era, Costco after Senegal and the Digital Expansion 2011 to 2020. The year is 2011. Costco has grown exponentially, boasting over 600 warehouses, more than 55 million members, and nearly $90 billion in annual revenue, supported by a cult-like customer base. But a significant transition was imminent. Jim Sinegal, the co-founder and CEO, was stepping down. After decades of humble leadership, hands-on store visits, steadfast refusal of a massive salary, and meticulously building a culture of honesty, Jim decided it was time to pass the torch. Many within and outside the company quietly wondered, can Costco truly continue without Jim Sinegal? The answer would soon become apparent. The individual chosen to succeed him as CEO was Craig Jelinek. Not a celebrity CEO, not a flashy business speaker, nor a social media personality. Craig was a veteran who had worked at Costco since 1984. He had managed stores, overseen operations, deeply understood the company culture, learned directly from Jim Sinegal, and shared the same core values of humility, logic, and long-term trust. This was not a radical new direction. It was a seamless continuation of the same philosophy, simply with a new leader at the helm. The transition was remarkably smooth. Jim did not depart in anger or vanish entirely. He remained on the board, offering invaluable guidance. But Craig Jelinek now held the reins, and Costco was entering a fundamentally new global landscape. From 2011 onward, retail entered a different battlefield. The game was no longer solely about price versus quality or physical stores versus bulk deals. New rules now governed the industry. Firstly, e-commerce was exploding, with Amazon having become a colossal force. Consumers were ordering everything from toothpaste to televisions online. Secondly, mobile applications were on the rise, with customers demanding convenience at their fingertips. Thirdly, the expectation of speed had become paramount too. Day shipping, next day delivery, and same-day pickup were becoming standard. Fourthly, big data and personalized advertisements were increasingly shaping consumer behavior, with companies meticulously tracking every click and habit. Finally, numerous retail chains were faltering and closing. Sears, Kmart, Toys R Us, J.C. Penney, and even entire malls were in decline. Costco faced a critical decision: should it overhaul everything or remain true to its core identity? Their answer was brilliant: we'll adapt, but we won't sell our soul. Costco had already launched Costco.com in the 2000s, but now they began to invest quietly and carefully in e-commerce growth. However, they approached it distinctly. There were no spammy advertisements, no artificial countdown timers, no high-pressure deal of the hour tactics. They simply offered bulk products, Kirkland items, appliances, furniture, electronics, and convenient delivery options. By 2020, Costco's e-commerce sales surpassed $10 billion per year, all achieved without ever overtly promoting it. They also introduced mobile apps, online photo centers, digital pharmacy services, and business delivery tools. Yet, even with these digital advancements, approximately 90% of Costco's sales continued to originate from its physical warehouses, a testament to the enduring trust people placed in the in-store experience. During this period, Costco also became renowned for its more affordable gas stations, often offering fuel 10 to 20 cents less per gallon. Its affordable pharmacy services proved invaluable, particularly for members without insurance. Costco Travel provided vacation packages, rental cars, and hotel deals. These supplementary services made the membership more valuable than ever before, leading many families to declare, "I save more on gas and prescriptions than I pay for membership." Costco's $4.99 rotisserie chicken achieved legendary status. The company steadfastly refused to raise its price, even as chicken costs escalated. So, in 2019, Costco took a bold strategic step. It constructed its own chicken processing plant in Nebraska. Why? To maintain control over the cost of its most popular item, to ensure consistent quality, supply, and animal welfare, and ultimately to protect customer trust. Once again, this was not merely about poultry. It demonstrated Costco's profound understanding of long-term strategic thinking. Costco's growth during this decade was substantial. In 2011, it had 592 warehouses. By 2020, over 800. Revenue surged from $88 billion in 2011 to $166 billion in 2020. Paid members grew from 55 million in 2011 to 98 million by 2020. The membership renewal rate in the US and Canada consistently remained 90% or higher. Its global presence expanded further into France, Spain, China, and Iceland. The Kirkland signature brand alone generated over $40 billion in annual revenue. Costco's growth wasn't the fastest, and it was the smartest, and it never deviated from its core principles. In this era, Costco had numerous opportunities to emulate its competitors and take shortcuts, but it consistently declined. It maintained its stance against massive advertising, still refraining from TV, radio, or billboard ads. Instead, it allowed word of mouth and the member experience to drive its success. It avoided social media manipulation while other brands chased memes and trending content. Costco rarely posted, yet people constantly discussed them online. It eschewed credit traps, offering one genuine credit card with real cash back instead of pushing store credit cards with deceptive discounts. It played no price games, never inflating prices merely to pretend to lower them. The price displayed was the lowest they could offer every single day. Costco continued its tradition of compensating its workers above the industry average, providing full-time benefits to part-time employees, promoting from within, and fostering exceptional employee loyalty and pride. Even as retail became a sector characterized by high turnover and low wages, Costco distinguished itself as a company where individuals stayed for 5, 10, or even 25 plus years. And when the world faced its next major crisis, COVID-19, this ingrained loyalty would prove even more critical. As the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the globe in 2020, Costco once again confronted a moment of truth. People rushed to stock up overwhelming warehouses. Toilet paper, sanitizers, and food vanished from shelves within hours. Here's how Costco responded. It imposed purchase limits to prevent hoarding, protected its staff with masks and hazard pay, steadfastly refused to raise prices during the panic, and significantly increased its delivery and pickup services, all while maintaining calm, transparent communication. Costco also provided an additional $2 per hour in hazard pay to frontline workers, offered extra bonuses, and ensured that no employee lost benefits during the pandemic. While other companies resorted to layoffs, Costco protected its people. Once again, the company demonstrated that in every crisis, it stands by its employees. Between 2011 and 2020, Costco navigated a leadership transition, embraced the digital world, expanded globally, survived a pandemic, and earned the trust of nearly 100 million paying members. It accomplished all of this without chasing hype, without exploiting workers, without deceiving customers, and without compromising its soul. Costco proved that evolution is possible without sacrificing authenticity. Chapter 40, Why Costco Works, Lessons from the Most Trusted Retailer on Earth. If Costco's success could be encapsulated in a single phrase, it would be this: do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. This simple principle has guided every decision Costco has ever made, from pricing strategies to hiring practices, from store design to international expansion. It is not a complicated business model driven by greed or built on manipulation. It is fundamentally built on trust, logic, simplicity, and consistency. Now, let's dissect the invaluable lessons Costco imparts to us in business, leadership, and life. First, price versus trust. Why Costco doesn't trick you. Most retailers employ psychological tactics, deceptive discounts, inflated original prices, followed by fake sales, never-ending limited time offers, and overpriced packaging. Costco unequivocally rejects these practices. They adhere to a pricing rule known as capped margin pricing, meaning they add only a 10% to 15% markup on most items. They do not raise prices simply to maximize profit. Their primary revenue source is membership fees, not product markups. Why is this approach so powerful? Because customers feel secure. They know they are not being exploited. This level of trust takes years to cultivate, and Costco has mastered it. Second, simplicity wins. Fewer choices, better decisions. In a typical supermarket, you might encounter 40 varieties of toothpaste, 60 types of cereal, and 100 brands of shampoo. Costco's philosophy is different. We'll offer you just 2 or 3 of the absolute best options. That's it. Most Costco warehouses stock only about 800 products, a stark contrast to Walmart's more than 100,000. Why? Because an overwhelming number of choices can confuse consumers. Less variety translates to to lower inventory costs. Fewer options lead to faster shopping, and bulk orders result in cheaper prices. Furthermore, because every product at Costco is meticulously curated, customers trust that if it's on the shelf, it has been rigorously tested and is worth buying. This makes shopping smarter, faster, and less stressful. Third, Kirkland Signature, the power of private trust. Costco's private label, Kirkland Signature, is not merely a cheap store brand. It is a premium product offered at lower prices, often manufactured by the very same companies behind renowned brands like Duracell, Grey Goose, Starbucks, Ocean Spray, and Jelly Belly, but sold under Costco's name with transparent branding. Kirkland now generates over $60 billion in sales annually. What does this teach us? When you prioritize building trust, people don't require a famous label. They simply need a reliable promise. Fourth, employees first, the heart of the warehouse. In most retail companies, employees are underpaid, overworked, treated impersonally, and offered limited growth opportunities. Costco reverses this paradigm, operating on the belief that happy employees lead to happy customers. How do they achieve this? By offering higher than average wages, starting over $17 per hour in the US. By providing comprehensive benefits for both part-time and full-time workers. By promoting from within, with 70% of managers having begun at entry-level positions. By offering paid vacation, health coverage, and retirement plans. The result, exceptionally low employee turnover, smiling faces throughout every warehouse, and a level of loyalty that cannot be purchased with money. This demonstrates that culture is defined not by what you say, but by how you treat people every single day. Fifth, members, not customers' loyalty as a business model. Costco doesn't have mere customers, it has members. These members pay to shop, renew their memberships annually, feel like they are part of something smart, and trust the company to consistently save them money. Costco boasts over 125 million members with a consistent renewal rate exceeding 90% in the US and Canada, and members who remain loyal for decades. Why do they stay? Because they tangibly see the savings, they feel respected, and they trust the entire system. That is the secret. Costco doesn't aggressively sell, it consistently proves its value every time you walk through its doors and empowers you to decide. Sixth, no advertising. Trust spreads faster. Costco spends almost nothing on traditional advertising, no TV commercials, no online ads, no billboards. They rely entirely on the quality of the experience, consistency, and referrals. They believe that if people genuinely love the product and service, they will naturally tell others. This might seem like a risky strategy, but it works precisely because trust propagates faster and more effectively than advertisements. Today, social media is replete with Costco memes, reviews, and price comparisons, driven not by marketing campaigns, but by profound member loyalty. Costco could have conformed to the norms of every other company, but it steadfastly refused. It said no to flashy branding, to credit card traps, to false promotions, to ultra-fast expansion, to cheap labor, to intrusive user data tracking, to stock market manipulation, and to raising prices during times of panic. Every time the world evolved, Costco asked itself, can we change without compromising our values? And almost every time, the answer was yes. That is why they have successfully navigated every market shift, every competitor, and every crisis. By 2023 to 2024, Costco proudly operates over 850 warehouses across 14 countries, generates more than $240 billion in annual revenue, serves over 125 million members, employs over 300,000 people worldwide, and has earned a reputation as the most trusted company in retail. Its fan base includes business owners, families, and celebrities alike. But the most crucial metric is trust, an intangible value that no spreadsheet can ever truly measure. Costco's story transcends mere retail. It is a profound lesson in long-term thinking. They didn't chase fleeting trends. They remained focused on their core mission. They embraced simplicity, making things easier, not fancier. They championed consistency, honoring their promises year after year. They delivered value without ego, demonstrating results without the need for extravagant packaging or grand claims. They prioritized culture before profit, putting people first, knowing that profit would naturally follow. If every company adopted this mindset, the world would undoubtedly feel safer, fairer, and more humane. You can apply Costco's mindset to your own career, your relationships, your habits, your dreams, and your learning journey. Be honest, don't fake success, earn trust. Be simple, focus on the essentials. Be consistent, show up the same way every day. Treat people well in work or in life, because respect always wins. Play the long game, don't rush, build something real and enduring. Whether you are a student, an entrepreneur, an artist, or an English learner, Costco proves that you don't have to be loud to be powerful. You simply have to be honest and excellent. Costco was never intended to be cool. It was never glamorous, never loud, never flashy. Yet it evolved into a $240 billion company, a global household name, a business school case study, a customer favorite, an employee haven, and a moral exemplar in capitalism. It became a place where people don't feel like mere shoppers, they feel like family. In a world that constantly shifts and changes, Costco remained steadfast. And that has made all the difference. This is the authentic, comprehensive, and complete story of Costco. From its humble origins to its global legacy, every detail has been respectfully told. If you found this story enjoyable and insightful, please share it with the world. And always remember, greatness doesn't have to shout. Sometimes it looks like a warehouse with concrete floors, low prices, and loyal hearts.